Hey, welcome to Grandpa Sees the Blinking. Please don't take anything Grandpa says as financial advice, and if you would, like, share, and subscribe. What a fun day in Tesla. I mean, it was a riot. And Grandpa's going to go through with you. We're going to talk about the Golden Cross we got today. We're going to talk a little bit about a bull trap. We're going to talk about the dominant trend, which is up. Imagine that. And Grandpa's going to give you the prediction for the open for tomorrow morning on Friday. And, Grandpa's just been nailing that opening. I think I'm getting close to 90% on that opening. Let's see, what else are we going to cover? We're going to cover the range to the upside, where we could expect to go next, and where we have resistance. We're going to talk about the range to the downside and where we have support. We're going to talk about divergence, and right now I'm going to talk about it. We had higher prices for a change on higher volume. 26 million more shares were traded today, with a total volume of 102 million, which is 102 million shares bought and sold, and the average is 90.5 million. So this is the first time in a very long time that we have had volume above our overall average. So let's see. And we're going to, like I say, we're going to talk about the open here shortly. So let Grandpa get into it. First, let's do the dominant trend. Oh, and I have something really important I'm going to cover with you just before we close this out. We gapped up today $15.50. And, we didn't gap up, we went up. We had a golden cross that gave us $15.50 off that golden cross in the 5 minute. And I will say that almost always, it stops around $12. But a few weeks ago, or a week and a half, whatever it was ago, there was one that was $23.70. That's the biggest, because this golden cross is still in effect, but that's the biggest one that I'd ever seen in the 5 minute was. And this is the second biggest one. 1550 is the second biggest golden cross, and it can go up more yet in that golden cross yet. So I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, the dominant trend is up. This is the daily chart, and I'm going to return to it because there's something I got to show you on this chart that's a real warning, and part of the reason why Grandpa is saying that this could be very likely a bull trap. Okay, and so here I want you to really be cautious up here, what you're doing. Here's the weekly. It's absolutely a buy signal. Here's our trend line. We got obviously support at around the 217 area. This white line that goes back 3 years will act as support now down there at the 217. And here's the monthly, and it is a buy signal. So the near term, notice I said near term, dominant trend is up, and it'll remain so until we lose a buy signal in either the monthly, the weekly, or the daily. So we're going to go back to this daily, and then Grandpa will talk about the next thing here. I told you about divergence, told you about dominant trend, and okay, so what what the world did we do today? So today Tesla had a high of 244.24 in regular hours, and right after the close we bounced up to 244.50, and so that is the new high. So $15.50 was the range so far today. And let's see, since the open at least, we closed at 243.90, just phenomenal. Now I want to say that if we do close below 243 or open below 243 tomorrow, we will likely see 232 on Monday. Very, very likely. And so remember that number. It's very important. If we close below 243, 232 is likely. Okay, the range to the upside. We have resistance at 246, 254.75, and 265. They'll act as resistance. Possible far out range that we would expect for tomorrow would be 233 on the bottom side for tomorrow, potentially, and 254.70 to the upside would be the furthest out extreme you would expect it to do. The range to the downside, we have support at 241, just below where we're at. I think we'll probably blow right through that. 230.60 and 218, where we have our trend line, and down below that 215. Let's see. The open on Friday, the 20th, $240. I believe we're going to gap down about $3.30 from where we're currently at, and I think we're going to open at 240 sometime in the either pre-market or up at the open of the regular market, but somewhere in between there. I think sometime tomorrow morning between 7 and 9:30 area, or 9:35 sometimes, you can expect to see that number, 240. Okay, I think we're very likely going to close at 236.90 tomorrow, 237 area, right there, 236.90. However, Grandpa is much better at picking the opening price than I've been calculating the closing price, but I don't think I've ever been right. So just letting you know that up front. I nailed the open today at 4 a.m. When China started trading. Our guys have been doing excellent. Jeff pulled out 692 this morning. Grandpa pulled out 417. Grandma made 165. Treasonous trucker called in late and said he just traded one quick trade for a couple minutes and snagged $50, and he's trucking and he just couldn't do it. DLA did the best of everybody again, as always. What did DLA do down there in Tennessee? Well, he had two baby boys at 11 a.m. on the 18th, and they weighed 5 pounds each, and they're extremely good looking and very healthy. And DLA is currently at the store buying extra diapers, and he's a good daddy. So, okay, so that's what went on there. Now, I think I've covered everything except for what I was going to tell you about these candles. This is a daily candle. This candle here from the top to the bottom is $15.50. She's a big one, but it's not uncommon in Tesla. Periodically you get these type of candles. And I'm going to give you just briefly 4 examples of similar candles of the same size or bigger and what happened the very next day. Here's your first example. This one here is even a little bit bigger. I'll tell you how big it is in a second. This one's, man alive, $20 about. So it's even bigger than that one. But what happened the next day is this indecision candle. And it literally went back down from 235 all the way to 210.30. That's $25. She dropped back $25 after just what you've seen today. And then the next day it started meandering its way back up again. But I'm just pointing out what happens after one of these big candles. Here you go again. You got the big candle. This one isn't quite as big. It's about 1450 to 228. $14 candle. And what happened the next day? Well, she come down some, and the next day she took a big dive. So and so on. You can see where it went. Okay, and then we have over here, we have a big candle, similar size to what we're looking at. And of course, what happened? She fell back the next day and continued its going back. Here you have the same candle again, almost identical to the one that we're looking at. And from the high of that candle, 267.80, to the bottom of the first one, 239.40. So massive drop, just a massive drop, $20 or more. So I wanted to point out that very often in Tesla, and Grandpa trades, I only trade Tesla. And I don't know everything, and Grandpa can be wrong. I'm sure not every example is, I'm just showing you the last 4 examples here. But Grandpa can be wrong, but I don't want to get stuck up here. We're short, and right now Grandpa's down. And I wish I would have played my candles today better than, instead of playing the range. Grandpa played the range instead of the candles today. If I would have played the candles, I would have a lot more money right now. But I was so happy to get up at 235 where I've been waiting to short for so long. I just couldn't stop myself. So, is it a mistake on Grandpa's part? Absolutely. I should have played the candles because the candles are Grandpa's bread and butter. But on the other side of the coin, just be real cautious going long up here. When they pull the plug, everybody that's been buying up here all day long in the 240 to 244 range and above are when they start taking out their stop losses tomorrow and we gap down $3 and something, they're gonna panic. And if once the ball gets rolling, she really goes. Almost every single one of these examples I gave you, the drop down was bigger than the bounce up, almost in every single case. The drop down was bigger than the bounce up was, and you know that's what happens. Now, can they keep running? Sure. Uh, can they top where they were today by and go up to that 245, 246, and then reverse straight down? That's probably more likely what could occur. But I do believe we're going to open at 240, so I think they're going to pull the plug on you early tomorrow. Early. And now she might bounce from 240 up to 246 and then pull the plug, or 245 area again. But and the other thing is, I want to point out, September is absolutely, over all of the market time, the weakest month for the indexes and for Tesla. And so far, we ain't seen any weakness in Tesla or the markets, really. Just that one day where she did that pullback to 225 area. Other than that, we've had nothing but pretty solid going here. And, you know, and November is the second worst month for Tesla of the whole year and for the indexes. So, October. So September and October are the worst 2 months of the year, and that's throughout history of the market. It's something to think about. I don't know that you can trade it, but yeah, we absolutely had. I'm going to show you where we're at with this golden cross. Here's the 50 up here and the 200 down here, and it's still in effect. However, the 50 is above now, and the 21 moving average is also above now. And the next thing you're going to see in this stock will be a death cross in the 5 minute, because we're still in that golden cross. And like I say, 1550 is the second biggest golden cross I've ever seen, going back one full year in the 5 minute chart. We did have that one that was $23.70. I couldn't believe it, because prior to that, the biggest one I ever found was $12.70 that we ever had. And I follow it daily, every day. So, yep, I think we're going to open at 240. I think we're going to gap down $3.30. And I think there's a good possibility we might close right about 237 for tomorrow. But like I say, I'm not too accurate at guessing the close. I calculate the fair opening price, what Grandpa considers to be a fair opening price, and I calculate it every day, and that's what I give you. Is it always right? No, it's not. But most of the time it is. That's about all I can tell you about that. Okay, and let's see. I'll be back tomorrow morning at around 9:15 a.m., and I will call out the buy and sell signals in this reverse engulfing method, and maybe Grandpa will actually go buy his candles tomorrow. I've had a couple of good days. In the last 2 days, I'm up over 1,000. What's a golden cross? Okay, Clutch Cargo's on here, and Jeff says, good afternoon, Grandpa. Clutch Cargo wants to know what a golden cross is. Define it. He wants me to define it. Okay. Well, all right, I'm going to show you where it started out. It started out in, where are we here? I got lost in space here, moving this chart around. Okay, I'm going to show Clutch Cargo where a golden cross is at. All right, look right here, Clutch. You see this blue line coming up? That is the 50 moving average, okay? The yellow dotted line is the 200-day moving average. When the 50-day moving average touches and moves up through, it's called a golden cross. And in a 5-minute chart, it usually nets you $3, and I've seen as high as $23.70 to the upside. But usually it's $3 to $12, almost always in that range. Today we got $15.50. That's the second biggest one I've ever seen so far in over a year. So that's a golden cross, and until it comes down and crosses back through, when this blue line turns and comes back through, then it will be a death cross, okay? Let me scroll back in time and find you a death cross that's decent to look at. Grandpa will find you one. Okay, so here we have a death cross. The blue line goes through, the blue 50 moving average goes through the 200 moving average, and from that point, you look at the amount, 28.45, then you go find the low that it went to, and I don't know if this was the low, but 227 it went down to. So just to give you an example, 228 to 227, I think it went lower than that over here. And it stays in effect until you get a golden cross, and here we got a golden cross. And this was a small one. That's about a $3 one, okay? And then you'll get a death cross again. They're not always huge. Here was an example of one that was only like $1. So, but that's very rare. Oh, well, let me look for sure before I say that. Yeah, $1. And it was more of a spoof. And I've seen that before too. It'll come down and come right back up, and then it gives you the real direction. So we got a death cross followed by an immediate golden cross, which is usually huge to a bigger golden cross type of deal. And I think that's what we're currently in right now, is after that spoof one. So I've seen that a few times. So I hope that clears it up. And how are things in Illinois there, Clutch? Pretty good, I hope. And, okay, so, yeah, everybody's happy. Everybody's having a good time. And thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you get it there, young man. I don't trade it. I just enjoy talking about it, and I enjoy looking at it. Today, I'm selling the top of what I felt was the top of the range, and instead of going by my Heikin ASHI candles, I went with the range trade because I wanted to reverse, and so far it don't look pretty, but I think Grandpa's going to turn it into a winner here shortly. So, okay, well, good luck, and if you're going to trade with Grandpa, the safest thing you can do, the safest by far that you can do, is just trade with Grandpa's buy and sell signals into candles. If Grandpa would do that consistently, he'd have way more money. But once in a while, I get caught up in it. Everybody does. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'll ring a bell. I got to ring the bell twice for little Jesse and little Mac, the twins that DLA had. 5-pounders. That's good-sized twins. So I'm going to ring the bell twice for them. Wait, I better do it again. There, we did it. Them boys are happy now. Now you're going to have to get them boys a cowbell when they get a little bigger to play with.
You scared me.
I scared Uriah. Uriah says, Grandpa, you scared me. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:15, and we're just going to have nothing but fun. Grandpa's tired. I didn't even get a nap today. I did mow that whole big section out to the right side here. I suppose I mowed almost an acre with that push mower today. So I did accomplish something. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, hey, think about eternity once in a while. Grandpa does. Bye-bye.